Hello, today I'm gonna show you step by step how to make a fixed pacer screen, fixed insect screen actually, and to make the blind we need following components: 4 profiles, 4 white profiles, a piece of mesh, rubber strip, four corners with a metal plate on them to join 4 pieces of profile to make a frame to put the mesh on. And obviously tooling, a hammer, a Stanley knife, and this tool, I call it a pizza cutter because it looks like it. Okay, now, and the very first step on making this blind is to put all the 4 profiles together. And to join them all up together, I'm gonna use those white corners. Those corners fit inside of profiles like this, and we'll use a hammer to make sure that it goes in entirely. Okay then, our frame is made now, and the next step now is to put the piece of mesh over it. And I'm gonna use a rubber strip to put the mesh on the frame, and the rubber strip goes into a bigger groove on the frame, just like this. But obviously I'm gonna have to put it over the mesh to hold it in place. So firstly, I'm forcing the rubber strip in the groove, and then using the pizza cutter tool, I'm gonna put the rest of it into that groove on on the frame. It's pretty easy, but the main thing doing this is to make sure that the mesh on the frame is pretty flat, that there are no dents on it or anything like that. Do the longer length first, then turn the frame around. So I've got the shorter length of it right in front of me now, and I'm doing the second length now. And I do exactly the same thing as with the longer length. Just make sure that the mesh on it is pretty tight. Okay, turn it around again. If you struggle to put the rubber strip in it on the corner, you can always use the other side of that tool. It's been designed to force the rubber strip in the corners. The last two lengths on the frame are a little bit harder to do than the first two, because I need to pull the excess of the mesh outside the frame tight, making sure that this is gone. It has to be, like I said, it has to be straight without no dents on it. It has to be pretty tight on it. And to do that, I'm pulling the excess to the left. I'm using my thumb to press it down, and then I do the rubber strip. And now I'm gonna do the last length of it, and then the mesh will be fitted onto it. Okay, obviously I cut a little bit too much of the rubber strip, so can cut the excess of it off right by the starting point when I started putting the rubber strip on the first length. Okay, so now as you can see, the mesh is been fitted onto the frame, and it's pretty flat. And the next step now is to cut the outside of the mesh right by the outside side of the strip here. The easiest way to do it is just to hold the mesh up a little bit and then cut it. And I'm going to do that around the whole frame, so we've got only the mesh inside. The rest of it is just waste. Okay, so here we are. Our fixed insect screen is done, and the very last step is the brackets. And we use two types of brackets for fixed insect screens. The first one is magnets. The first one is magnets. They've been put in the corners. Those corners have a little metal plate inside of them. So this is one type of brackets, magnets. The other one is plastic hinges. Yeah. That's fine, I'll cut it out if anything. Okay, the other one is plastic hinges. And basically, wherever customer wants is specified in special instructions or in brackets on the paperwork. Sometimes customers want two magnets and two brackets and two hinges. Sorry. So, like I said, basically we need to double check the special instructions or the bracket section on the paperwork. And basically, that's it. Our blind is done here and it's ready to be packed and sent away. Thanks a lot.